Dear brothers and sisters in Christ, sometimes when we think about the laws of God, our mind straight away goes to the Ten Commandments. Yes, God Himself gave the Ten Commandments to Moses and was asked to be given it to the people for them to follow. Secondly, Moses himself came out with so many laws for the people to follow. The Mosaic law or the Torah, in fact, consists of 613 laws for the people to be followed. That many laws. So, apparently, people tend to think which of these is the most important? Are all 613 important? Out of the 10, which are more important, which are less important? So, today, Jesus in the Gospel gives a straightforward answer to a question posted by a scribe. He says, the greatest of the laws is actually to love your God with all your heart, with all your mind, and all your strength. And the second law, he says, is built upon this, that is to love your neighbor as yourself. So, what then is the greatest of laws, dear brothers and sisters? Are the Ten Commandments not so important, but the law to love is more important? Are the 613 laws not important at all, and only these two laws of love is important? Basically, what Jesus is trying to tell us is all the laws of God are based upon the law of love. The law of love is the one which makes us live as people who are built in the image and likeness of God Himself, because God Himself has the nature of loving. God Himself is full of love. He showed His love for us that even after we falling into sin, He gave up His only Son to die for us and rise again so that we may have love. God is filled with love. So when we are filled with love, we are loving like God, and we are keeping all the rest of the laws in the right perspective. The Venerable Archbishop Fulton Sheen once said in one of his talks that every time when we want to live as proper human beings, we will have to keep to the instructor's manual with which we were created. He says that the laws of God are the instruction manuals which we were created with. He gives this analogy that when you buy a car, there's an instruction manual which comes with it. In the instruction manual, it says what type of fuel you're supposed to put for the car, how much of air you're supposed to fill for the tires, and what type of oil you're supposed to put for the engine, and so on. But instead of gasoline, he says, if you were to fill it up with some perfume bottle, what will happen to the engine? The engine will not run. He gave this analogy to prove a point, to make a point across to us that the laws of God are important for us to be able to operate as proper human beings the way God meant us to be. And these two laws which Jesus Christ has stressed in today's gospel are the laws which we are talking about. The main laws, the laws to love. Love is all about God. And the law to love is all about the laws of God, dear brothers and sisters. So, if we want to keep the Ten Commandments, if we want to keep any of the precepts of the church, even if we want to follow the 613 laws of Moses, we need to be rooted in love. It is love which makes us obey the rules and the regulations set by God, because the rules and regulations are there so that we will live an orderly life in this world, so that we will be living as a one community, as a one people who were created by God to glorify Him. The moment we do not have love in our hearts, love in our lives, all these laws don't mean much for us. So, brothers and sisters, let us think about it today. Do I have love in my life? How much do I love God? And how much do I love my neighbor? Because that was the nature and that was the image in which we were created. So, dear brothers and sisters, let us love our God with all our heart, mind, and strength. And let us love our neighbor. When we do this, we are actually paving the way to keep all of God's commandments. And these are the laws which Jesus is talking about. And in Jeremiah chapter 31, verses 33, it says that I will put my laws in their hearts. What are these laws which Jeremiah is talking about? It is the law to love. So the law of God is basically the law to love. Thank you and God bless you.